Hello, Blackhawks Nation. Welcome to the Blackhawks Daily, your favorite recap of the daily buzz around your Chicago Blackhawks. I'm your host, PJ Benoit, and thanks for tuning in as we uplift, support, and celebrate our beloved Blackhawks as they continue this very interesting centennial season. If you're new here, welcome, of course. And if you haven't already, please take a moment, hit that subscribe button for me. Would love to have you along as we build this awesome and really growing community. It's just a ton of fun, so hope you be a part of it. And let's get to the four top topics of today, shall we? So let's break down last night's 3-1 loss to the Seattle Kraken at Climate Pledge Arena. Chicago fell 0-2-1 on their current road trip, and we remain winless in that particular building since our very first visit. We're actually 0-5-1 all time in Seattle. Now, Seattle historically is a hard place to play for every sports team. It doesn't matter the league. We just haven't had a lot of luck there. But it wasn't for lack of effort, but actually a mix of missed opportunities, some poor puck execution, and a cold power play really told the story. So if you're looking at the Hawks really controlled much of the play, we outshot Seattle 30-25, and we're generating plenty of looks. Unfortunately, the execution wasn't quite there. They were 0 for 3 on the power play, and our finishing touch disappeared despite multiple high danger chances. Arvid Soderblom was one of the bright spots, stopping 22 of 25 shots. None of the Kraken goals could actually be pinned on him. One came through heavy traffic, another off a defensive lapse on a faceoff, and a third off of a 2-on-1 following a neutral zone turnover by Frank Nazar. And Nazar was he was just caught out in the neutral ice and really was outmanned there. Head coach Blashill said it best afterward. We didn't have enough guys with their A game. So Nazar, like many of the young Hawks, are carrying a heavy load and are learning through the ups and downs of an NHL season. One of the real positives was Oliver Moore's return to the NHL lineup. After a crazy day of travel from Rockford, Moore jumped right in, looked sharp. 3 shots on goal, noticeable speed, and energy that popped. Blashill praised his confidence coming out of Rockford, saying, hopefully he could add to our forward depth and make an impact with his tenacity, speed, and compete. Moore was paired with Ryan Donato and Mikheyev, and the line generated several scoring chances, even if the puck didn't drop. Bedard and Burakovsky stayed hot. The Hawks finally broke through midway through the third period, thanks to who else? Connor Bedard and Burakovsky. Bedard chipped the puck ahead, won the race, and set up Burakovsky in the slot for a very slick 5-hole goal. And really, it was a beautiful play, right? It was a beautiful effort on Bedard because he really did just flip it past the guy on the boards on the right side. And through that effort was able to just catch a trailing Burakovsky right there. It was beautiful. The tally extended Burakovsky's goal streak to 3 straight games and his point streak to 4 with 6 points total. Bedard stretched his own point streak to 5 games, 4 goals and 9 points over that span. These two continue to drive the Hawks offense and give fans something to cheer about, even when there's tough losses. Artem Levshinov's 3-game assist streak ended, unfortunately, but he quietly played another strong game. He's really been stepping up as of late, which is great. He's been controlling play with a 21-7 shot attempt advantage while he's on ice. Renzel also had one of his best offensive efforts of the year, racking up 8 total shot attempts and showing real confidence with the puck. It's awesome to see our D-men do that. Skill, though, execution remains the team's Achilles heel. We missed the net 16 times, had another 19 shots blocked. Oh, it's brutal. For all of the good looks they created, we just couldn't bury them. So the 3 studs and 3 things to work on. Connor Bedard extended his point streak to 5 games. He kept driving play. Burakovsky scored again. His goal marked 3 straight games with the goal, and now, as we talked about, a 4-game point streak. And Soderblom held firm in goal. He gave the Hawks a chance by making key saves despite the loss. He made a beautiful sliding left save with a skate. Kids on fire. Things to work on: execution and finishing chances. The Hawks spent time in the offensive zone, but we couldn't find the net often enough, obviously. Defensive breakdowns on special teams. A power play goal and a 2-on-1 rush gave Seattle too comfortable of a lead, right? As soon as they got to 2-0, they really just clamped down on the neutral zone, which, of course, makes for very unentertaining hockey. And puck management and transitions, neutral zone turnovers led directly to goals and momentum swings that the Hawks couldn't recover from. We also had a couple of milestones, a pair of big ones last night. Connor Murphy played his 500th game as a Blackhawk. Thank you, sir. Becoming just the 44th player in our franchise history to hit that mark. Tyler Bertuzzi also suited up for his 500th NHL game, bringing a little veteran grit to a night where the Hawks needed it most. So congrats to both those guys. Incredible achievements in a long grind of a career for sure. So some of the takeaways are that the effort is there. The Hawks just need to finish. We're generating offense. We're just not capitalizing. The defensive lapses and power play struggles are fixable, but they're costing games right now. With another stop on this road trip coming up, the mission is clear. We got to clean up puck management, tighten special teams, and turn those near misses into goals, right? Keep the faith. The pieces are all coming together. It's all just, as we say, it's part of the process. And also, it was really interesting because yesterday, our first period was terrible. We came out looking like we're, sleepwalking. And the second period was actually great. It was our best, in my opinion, it's probably our best second period of the year. So now we just need to get great efforts on both those things and have a strong third. We'll be winning all the time, right? Real quick box score. So they had 3 goals to 1. They had 24 shots to our 30. So we hit the 30 mark, but, we got to make them really viable and quality shots, right? They had 19 block shots to our 11. They had 20 hits to our 12. They won 24 faceoffs. We won 33, so really great progress there. They were 1 of 2 on the power play. We were 0 and 3. And they had 6 penalty minutes, and we had 4. So that's the box score there. And, let's talk about now yesterday's kind of surprise arrival, right? Oliver Moore's arrival kind of marks a big shift in Blackhawks mentality, right? So we're talking about Mark Lazarus over to Athletic gave some great insights into that call-up because what we saw was just not a roster move. It's kind of like a philosophy shift. So let's be honest. A year ago, even a month ago, the Blackhawks would not have called up Oliver Moore this early. Jason Dickinson, unfortunately, is out. He's been placed on AR retroactively to last Saturday. And the old playbook would bring up a placeholder, like a safe veteran guy like Joey Anderson or Brett Seney, someone who's ready and steady and kind of temporary, right? That was the rebuild mindset. Stick to the plan, protect the prospects, think about the long game, but not this time. This time, Kyle Davidson ripped up the script and said, nope, we're playing to win. And with that, my friends, that's a massive statement. When the call came Sunday night, Moore was literally lacing up his skates for Rockford in Grand Rapids. And the next thing you knew, he's on a plane to Seattle, wearing a Blackhawks sweater the next morning and skating in the lineup that night. No hesitation, no maybe next month. Davidson went with the best player available, age be damned. And that tells you where this organization is right now. Moore has earned it too, right? The kid's been lighting up the AHL. He's got 6 goals in 9 games. He was sitting at top of the leaderboard in scoring. He's been playing fast, confident, and fearless. And Davidson told him back in camp, make us make a spot for you. Moore did just that. Against Seattle, he didn't just survive. He popped, right? He had 3 shots on goal, 5 attempts. Over 16 minutes of ice time. He brought speed, pressure, and poise. And it looked like he actually belonged there, right? And Blashill said it best, he's here to help us win a hockey game. Yeah, fair enough, right? And the key phrase here is help us win. It isn't just about patience or placeholders anymore. It's about progression and competition. The Hawks are finally back in the business of trying to win games. And let's not pretend this team is a playoff lock, right? They're not even there yet. It was fun to look at, 10 games in. Yeah, we would have, if the playoffs started right then, we're in, right? But, we still got a long ways to go, right? And they're also not the pushovers, though, that we've seen the last few years. Spencer Knight looks like a legitimate number 1 goalie, and Soderblom, excellent 1B, right? Connor Bedard looks every bit the superstar that he was advertised to be. Nazar is carving out his identity as a top 6 mainstay. Kaiser and Levchinov both looking more confident and polished every game. Rinzel's also putting in great effort. And now Oliver Moore's part of that story. For the first time in a long time, the Blackhawks aren't just developing players. They're rewarding performance. This is meritocracy hockey. If you earn it, you get the call. So what's next? Moore's got a shot to stick. And if he keeps bringing this pace and confidence, he'll make that decision easy. As for Nick Lardis down in Rockford, 5 goals, 8 assists through 10 games. He might be next up if the opportunity opens. So this is the new era of the Blackhawks. It's a lot more fun than just tanking for the draft odds, right? They're learning, they're believing, and they're starting to play like a group of experts, like a group that expects to win every night. Oliver Moore's call-up wasn't just a roster move, it was a message. The future is now. So let me know what you guys think about that. Oliver Moore, is he going to stay around? Do you think? Maybe. Who knows? He could be, right? So let's go to topic number 3. So one goes up and another one went down, right? So the Blackhawks sent Landon Slaggert down to Rockford after we called up Oliver Moore. So it's a little bit of tinkering on this long road trip, and let's talk about it, right? So Slaggert's back down in the Rockford Ice Hogs just hours after recalling top prospect Oliver Moore to be on the NHL roster. It's a move that might look a little curious on paper, especially with Dickinson now in injured reserve, but this one is all about development and opportunity. Slaggert's story of the season has been kind of up and down. He missed the first 6 games after getting hurt in the preseason finale, and when he finally drew into the lineup, he couldn't find much rhythm. In 5 NHL games, he hasn't registered a point and finished with a -2 rating. Blashill said last week that Slaggert was in the conversation when it came to tough lineup decisions, and that he wanted Slaggert to play his way out of that conversation. Unfortunately, that didn't quite happen on the road trip through Winnipeg and Edmonton. So rather than have Slaggert sitting in the press box or playing 6 minutes a night on the 4th line, the organization sent him back to Rockford, where he can play top 6 minutes, build confidence, reset his game, right? He's only 23, and he's still in his 2nd full pro season, so he's got some runway there. Last year, Slaggert put up 25 points in 39 AHL games, showing flashes of that blend and speed and size that made him an intriguing prospect in the first place. But as we've talked about before, this is a new Blackhawks era that's all about earning your ice time. So with guys like Moore, Nazar, even Lardis pushing from below, there's no room to kind of coast. This move also signals that the front office trusts its youth. Moore's call-up shows that Chicago is willing to reward performance, and sending Slaggert back down means that they're serious about accountability and development, not just filling roster spots. So for Slaggert, this is far from the end of the road. He's got the tools. He just needs consistency. Got to get his head on, and he'll be fine, right? A few strong weeks in Rockford, you can bet he'll probably be back in the mix as soon as the opportunity allows. The bottom line is that the Blackhawks are shaping their roster based on who's ready to help them win right now. It's a refreshing change from just a couple of years ago. We'll see how Moore settles in and whether Slaggert can find a spark again in Rockford. We just got to stay tuned, Hawks fans. The youth movement isn't slowing down anytime soon. So I'm sure you guys have a lot to say about that. And we have a lot to cover in the old hot takes from all you guys. Lester 701, the commander, repeat offender extraordinaire. He said, hi, hope me and my wife Kara had a great trip. Totally agree with everything that we talked about yesterday. We talked about Reinsdorf. We talked about a lot of stuff, right? And as someone commented below, we also talked about Kane. Would have been awesome being on the roster when Bedard came in to kind of school and tutor him, right? And together they would have been great. Kane, Taves, and Bedard together would have been tremendous if they weren't run out of town by management, which someone previously stated. They seem to have, they seem to have had to do some coaching when Jerry Colleton was in there. Right. Like it just seemed like we took a huge step back for some reason a couple of years ago. So, but anyway, he said, have a great day. Let's see what the Hawks do in the remainder of this road trip. Go Blackhawks. Thank you, Commander. Really appreciate it. Joshua Bauman, 3209, another repeat offender. He said, what a heartbreaker it was in Edmonton. We were the better team, I think. We seemed more dominant, at least, even though the luck of the puck fell their way on more than one occasion, and that we mustered, even though we had so many close shots. Let's hope that they can start pulling off more of these close ones. And Menser HD80, another repeat offender. Everyone today's repeat offenders, love it. Better during 5-on-5. They took advantage of special teams, and they're drawing penalties. Very, very true. And Haggerty, yet another repeat offender, really summed up this season quite well, right? They score some goals against good teams. They have good goalkeeping. Blackhawk defensemen no longer scare me when they have the puck. You can see how the opponents cannot forecheck freely. They're winning way more faceoffs. A lot of the very young guys are getting bigger and stronger and acquiring experience. And they aren't scoring on their breakaways, but they will. Coaching can teach that. Abso-frickin-lutely. Thank you, Haggerty. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for being a repeat offender. And that's a wrap for today, Blackhawks Nation. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Please like and subscribe. If you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support and for sharing the channel to all your friends and family and neighbors. Get them all in here. The more the merrier, as we like to say. If you've made a comment, thank you for sharing your thoughts, your expertise, and your passion about the Hawks with us all. And if you are a repeat offender in the comment section, thank you so much for your contributions. Absolutely an honor building this community with you. Just love it. Thanks to you all as we celebrate the best team in hockey with the best fans in all of sports. No one beats Chicago fans. And the absolute most fantastic city in the world, and that is our beloved Chicago. That does it for now. I'm PJ, or DJ Saucy Loins, on my competitive barbecue team, as we like to say. And also, this was actually hilarious when I coined this term 10 years ago. But now that my kids are a lot older and they actually know what this means, oh, well, that's my name. Anyway, that does it for now. We'll see you on the next time on the Blackhawks Daily.